Have you ever noticed that some women seem to distance themselves from their husbands as they age? Perhaps you've wondered if this is a sign of falling out of love, or if there might be more practical reasons beneath the surface. In today's video, we'll tackle this question head-on, exploring the real, everyday factors that quietly lead to emotional distance in long-term marriages. If you've ever felt this drift or feared it could happen to you, keep watching. You'll discover 7 practical explanations for the origin of this change, along with advice on what you can do to keep your bond strong. By the way, if you find this information useful, feel free to click like or subscribe. It helps others find this video and keeps you connected to our community for more discussions about relationships and well-being. Overview and structure. We'll list 7 main reasons why women grow more distant from their husbands as they age. Each point will be supported by practical examples and straightforward references to current studies or research findings. We'll also discuss practical solutions, small but effective steps you can take to keep the spark alive. And as always, feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below. Let's dive into this journey. Changes in vitality and health. The harsh truth about aging bodies. What's happening? One of the biggest changes for many women is the decline in health and energy levels. According to various studies, including summaries from the National Institute on Aging, hormonal changes like menopause can cause mood swings, energy fluctuations, and physical endurance issues. Add to this conditions such as joint pain or chronic fatigue, and everyday tasks suddenly feel like a marathon. Why it matters. Emotional impact. When you can no longer handle routines you once managed with ease, it can be frustrating. Women often feel guilty or even angry with themselves for slowing down. Common misunderstanding. If a husband doesn't fully understand his wife's physical struggles, he may expect her to maintain the same pace as before, leading to resentment on both sides. Imagine a 50-year-old woman entering menopause. She struggles with night sweats, meaning she rarely sleeps well, and faces hormonal fluctuations that drain her energy by midday. Meanwhile, her husband still expects her to cook, clean, and be as active as she was in her 30s. When her body can no longer keep up, tension rises. Open the dialogue. Talk openly about daily challenges and energy levels. Share responsibilities. If possible, divide chores and errands. Seek expert help. A quick chat with a doctor, nutritionist, or therapist can help manage menopause symptoms or chronic conditions more effectively. If you find these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more relationship insights. Changing interests and priorities. Finding new passions in midlife. What's happening? After years of focusing on family, career, or other responsibilities, many women decide it's finally time to thrive and take care of themselves. They may start practicing new hobbies, like yoga, meditation, or creative activities, things that nurture their minds and bodies. Why it matters. Alignment changes. If their husband remains stuck in old routines, like watching the same TV programs every night or clinging to hobbies they no longer enjoy, a gap begins to form. Lack of recognition. The main conflict arises if the husband fails to acknowledge or support these new interests, which can foster feelings of isolation or misunderstanding. A woman starts attending a weekly yoga class and reading self-help books. She feels energized and excited about life. However, her husband may continue watching TV after work, showing no interest in her new passions. Gradually, they share fewer experiences and drift apart. Join or support. Even if yoga isn't your thing, be curious. Ask questions, attend a class once, or simply encourage your spouse. Try a new activity together. Find at least one activity you both enjoy, like a cooking class or hiking group. Plan growth times. If each has separate passions, schedule date nights or a shared hobby to stay connected. Emotional disconnection. Over time. Why conversations fade in long-term marriages? What's happening? At the beginning of a relationship, it's common to share dreams, fears, and funny moments from the day. But life changes. Raising kids, managing careers, and taking care of personal health can overshadow these intimate conversations. Over time, couples may still share a home, but rarely their inner worlds. Why it matters. Loneliness in togetherness. According to a report in the Journal of Marriage and Family, emotional neglect can be just as harmful as open conflict. Women, in particular, tend to feel the lack of deep conversations more acutely as they age and reassess their emotional needs. Long-term consequences. A relationship can turn into two people leading parallel lives, creating a persistent sense of loneliness or dissatisfaction. A woman who once loved late-night discussions about life starts noticing that her husband barely looks up from his phone or the TV at night. She needs meaningful interaction, someone to ask about her day or dive into deeper topics. Instead, she's met with silence or minimal responses, eventually giving up on trying. Daily check-ins. Dedicate 15 minutes a day to real conversations about your experiences. Tech-free zones. Set screen-free hours in the evening. Conversation starters. Keep a short list of topics or questions to spark meaningful discussions. Sometimes all it takes is a little incentive. Emotionally more exhausting than physically. This type of inequality can lead to frustration and resentment. Women may feel undervalued or as if their contributions are not appreciated, which negatively affects the emotional connection in the marriage. A wife who works outside the home comes back tired and still has to handle cooking, cleaning, and organizing the household while her husband relaxes or watches TV. She feels overwhelmed and invisible, which gradually creates emotional distance. Re-evaluate responsibilities. Create a list of household tasks and divide them more equitably. Consider taking turns for certain activities. Incorporate external help. If the budget allows, hire someone to assist with tasks like cleaning or cooking, alleviating the burden for both. Acknowledge efforts. Expressing gratitude for each other's contributions can strengthen mutual appreciation. Reason 2. Lack of attention to individual needs. Why personal independence is key to a healthy relationship. What's happening? Over time, couples can fall into routines and stop paying attention to each other's individual needs. Whether it's personal time to relax, grow in personal interests, or simply reflect, this lack of space can make a relationship feel suffocating. Why it matters. Personal space. Everyone needs time for themselves. And when this isn't respected, it can lead to frustration. Reconnection. Interestingly, by taking care of oneself, people often return to the relationship with more energy and willingness to connect. Concrete example. A wife wants a couple of hours to read or pursue her hobby, but she feels she always has to prioritize the needs of her husband or children, leaving her emotionally drained. Create personal time. Schedule regular moments where each partner can focus on their individual interests. Communicate boundaries. Discuss the importance of respecting these moments and how they benefit the relationship. Reason 1. Lack of physical and emotional intimacy. Why affection remains the glue of long-lasting relationships. What's happening? Physical and emotional intimacy often diminishes over time due to busy schedules, health changes, or simple misunderstandings about each other's needs. Why it matters? According to research on long-term relationships, intimacy isn't just about sex, but also about daily affection, like hugs, kisses, and words of affirmation. These small connections build a sense of emotional closeness. Couple that used to hug each other before bed now simply turns their backs to one another, not out of a lack of love, but because they've stopped prioritizing affection in their daily lives. Return to small gestures. A hug at the start or end of the day can make a big difference. Initiate contact. Don't wait for the other person to make the first move. Take the initiative to show affection. Seek support. If intimacy issues persist, consider couples therapy to help address them. Long-term relationships require continuous adjustments and attention to remain strong and connected. While emotional distance can arise for many reasons, open communication and intentional actions can help reconnect and revitalize the bond with your partner. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and every small step toward mutual understanding can make a big difference. If you found this advice helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share your experience in the comments. We'd love to hear your story and learn with you. If you've made it this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Rate this video from 1 to 10 in the comments and let us know what you think of the content. Your feedback is essential for us to keep bringing you useful and relevant information. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.